student, class 9. This is my second video on the topic properties of compound. Chapter 2 is matter around us pure. In my previous video I told you about element and compound, that is definition of element and compound I already given you earlier, and classification of element into metal, non-metal, metalloids, that also I told you. Today I am going to deal with properties of the compound. Definition is known to you. Now first point is a chemical compound consists of two or more elements combined together in a fixed proportion by mass. In the definition of compound also you can find this line, that is it consists of two or more elements combined together in fixed proportion by mass. I already explained you earlier, whatever may be the amount of the compound, the ratio of the constituent element in the compound will always remain same. I am taking one example, that is water. Water is a compound which is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. If you take 2 liter of water, 10 liter of water, 5 liter of water, whatever may be the amount of water, there is a fixed ratio of hydrogen and oxygen by mass, and that ratio in case of water is 1:8. In case of water, hydrogen and oxygen they combine in the ratio 1:8 by mass always. So this is one example I have taken. In case of any compound, the ratio is going to be fixed. This is the first property of a chemical compound. Second property, the properties of a compound are entirely different from its compound. I am repeating again, the properties of a compound are entirely different from its components. Components means the constituent by which it is made up of. Example, water, again I am taking. Now water is made up of what? Water is the compound and it is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. That means the constituent elements are hydrogen and oxygen. Now come to the properties of these. Hydrogen, what is its property? It burns itself. Hydrogen burns itself. If there is hydrogen, it will burn automatically. Oxygen, what is its property? It is the supporter of combustion. Without oxygen, burning cannot happen. So oxygen is the supporter of combustion. And what about water, that is made up of hydrogen and oxygen? Water is used for extinguishing fire. So can you find the differences in the properties of the constituent element and the compound form? It is entirely different from each other. One itself burns, that is hydrogen. Another one, oxygen, it supports burning, and water, it extinguishes fire. Totally different from each other. So this point is explained. Now third point, the constituent elements of a compound cannot be separated by any physical or mechanical means. That means the compound is made up of certain constituent. You have learned in previous classes how to separate the various substances present in the mixture. In separation, various processes are there: boiling, evaporation, hand picking, filtration, centrifugation. These things you have learned in class 7 only. That is the process of separating the constituent of a mixture. And all these processes are considered as physical process. Chemical compound cannot be separated into its constituent elements by any physical process or by any mechanical process. You have to apply only chemical method, that is either by chemical reaction or by any other chemical method you can only separate the constituent of a compound. No other way is there to separate the constituent. For example, again water I am taking. Water is there, you cannot separate water into oxygen and hydrogen by any physical method. Which method you have to apply? You have to apply electrolysis. About this you have learned in class 8. By electrolysis, water can be separated into oxygen and hydrogen. That is a electrochemical reaction, electrochemical equation, electrochemical reaction. That means chemical reaction is there by which two are separated. This is about third property. Now the fourth one. A compound is a homogeneous substance. Name is homogeneous. Homogeneous itself, the name suggests, homogeneous means composition is same throughout. Meaning of homogeneous is composition is same throughout. That means the molecule of water, that is H2O, is same everywhere throughout the bulk of the substance. It is not that in some particular place, that is inside a glass you are taking water. At the bottom number of molecules are concentrated, at the top it is not concentrated, it is not like that. Throughout the bulk the composition is same, that's why it is called homogeneous substance. Okay, now the fifth point. A compound has a fixed melting and boiling point. Actually this point is applicable for elements also. Pure substances have fixed melting and boiling point. From this we can differentiate it from a mixture. Mixture is considered as impure substance and compound and elements are considered as pure substance. So pure substances always has fixed melting and boiling point. If impurities are mixed in it, then only it can have different boiling and melting point. So compound is a pure substance, it is having fixed melting and boiling point. All examples I have taken the example of water, so here also I will talk about water. The fixed boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius and melting point is 0 degrees Celsius. Why melting point? Because ice is a form of water, it melts at 0 degrees Celsius. So that is the fixed temperature. But the water that we have in our home, if you boil it, you will find that its boiling point is something different. It may be near to 100 degree, but it may be less or more. What is the reason? Because the water that we have in our home has some impurities mixed in it. Impurity doesn't mean that always sand, soil like that. Minerals which are good for our health, they are also called impurity. That is not pure water. So its boiling and melting point will be a little bit different from the fixed melting and boiling point. Only the pure water, that is distilled water, which is having fixed melting and boiling point. Similarly, all compounds which are in the pure form without any impurity, they have fixed melting and boiling point. So this is all about my fifth point. Now number 6. The formation of a compound occurs because of a chemical reaction and is accompanied by energy changes. That is, I already told you that compound is formed when elements combine chemically. Without chemical reaction, compound cannot be formed. When they are chemically combined together, then only you are going to get the compound. That is, if you mix oxygen and hydrogen in a container, if you are going to mix oxygen and hydrogen, water will not going to form. It is not going to form. By chemical reaction only it can be formed. So chemical reaction is necessary for the formation of a compound. Second part is, it is associated with energy changes. Generally chemical reactions, they are associated with energy changes in two ways. That is, either energy is absorbed or energy is released during a chemical reaction. And according to energy changes, the chemical reaction can be classified into two types. They are exothermic and endothermic reaction. Exothermic means the chemical reaction in which heat energy is released. That is called exothermic reaction. Endothermic means the chemical reaction in which heat energy is absorbed. Now this is only in terms of heat I told you. Energy changes doesn't mean that only heat energy. It It can be something else also, that is chemical energy is converted into light energy, light energy is converted into chemical energy, or electrical energy is converted into some other form of energy. In all chemical reaction there will be some energy changes. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but energy changes occur during the chemical reaction in any form. Broadly it can be exothermic and endothermic. After that more categories are also there. So exothermic, endothermic also I have explained. Exo means release of energy, endo means gain of energy. So this is all about the properties of compound. I hope you have gone through the book properly and it is very easier for you to understand the topic through the video. In my next video I will explain about the mixture. So thank you.